Irish guy, and first of all, Jose, 5 European trophies. That is mental. But alright, Liverpool versus Real Madrid in Paris. Liverpool want revenge. I'm pretty sure right now Mo Salah is already sharpening his teeth, ready to avenge that 2018 Champions League final loss. But, calm down. Sergio Ramos was the real villain of the night, right? Yeah, he's not even going to be in the stadium. Probably just watching the game on his telly, about 6 miles away from the ground. It's a nice narrative, I suppose, but it's all just a bit false. Because when you revisit that 2018 final in Kiev, it's mental to think that, yes, Adam Lallana played an hour in a Champions League final. Adam Lallana. What? Midfielder who currently combs his hair at Brighton and Hove Albion? Just a bit out of place. It's like seeing Danny DeVito star in a theatre production of Swan Lake. But Aussie, back then, Liverpool had the strength and depth of a piss-stained school bag. Mate, Nathaniel Klein and Ragnar Klavan sitting on the bench. But no, worse than that. Are you still maintaining that Jurgen Klopp opted to pick Dominic Solanke on his bench ahead of Danny Ings? Are we sure he hadn't just eaten a dodgy pie the night before? I mean, was something affecting the brain muscles in his head? Was his cap on too tight? Because if you want a guaranteed goal off the bench, Liverpool's answer to Chicharito, then pick Danny Ings. You know, the guy who Pep Guardiola wanted to sign at Man City last summer? When Ings was told that even after battling back from injury hell, that he'd be forced to helplessly watch the match in the stands, I'm sure he'd sooner be given a front row seat to watch his grandparents making love in the bath. It was just awful. What was Jurgen thinking? I mean, you really think Solanke would have struck fear into the hearts of Madrid? I'm pretty sure Zinedine Zidane still doesn't know who he is. But you want revenge. Liverpool versus Real Madrid in a Champions League final. After this night in Paris, both of these clubs would have combined 20 European Cups. That is mental. Here's the bad news, Liverpool fans. Real Madrid have not lost a final of this competition since 1980. Weirdly, when you beat them yourselves in Paris. I mean, that was weird though. Can I say what? Real Madrid had a former West Brom winger on the wing. Laurie Cunningham from London. That must have been a bit bizarre. It was also the season where Real Madrid were nearly knocked out in the first round by Limerick. Yes, Limerick. I'm sure Pat Short was doing cartwheels in his house. But yeah, I've never seen Real Madrid lose a Champions League final. I've seen Liverpool lose 2. It's harder for me to accept that Real Madrid will lose. It's the Champions League. And they're the kings of Europe. But you know what's actually insane? Loris Karius is officially working for a company about to face Real Madrid in a Champions League final. I mean, it doesn't feel like it, but he's still a paid Liverpool employee. And this is his second Champions League final. Sort of. He's just a 5th choice goalkeeper, and Klopp would sooner chew off his own nose than ever pick him between the sticks again. It's quite amazing that Klopp once picked this guy for the biggest game in sport, but now, again, would sooner rip off his belly button with a bread knife than ever let him even sit on the bench. It's just a bit mad. He's even behind Brazilian goalkeeper Marcelo Pitaluga in the pecking order. Back in 2018, this kid was 15. Oh, Karius, how the mighty have fallen. But, remember this from 2018?
Don't go. Loris Karius claims Jurgen Klopp begged him to stay at Liverpool instead of quitting for Besiktas.
Begged him to stay. Does anyone think that's true?
Loris Karius will reportedly remain Liverpool's first choice goalkeeper.
Yeah, about that. But this is a mammoth game. Liverpool fans, how are you feeling? Because it doesn't come much bigger than this. Facing Real Madrid in a European final. Honestly, is that not a scary thought? This club are the kings of this competition. I mean, and they always have a knack of proving me wrong. Because nobody has doubted Real Madrid in the past more than me. Chris, look at the 2017 final against Juventus. I was confident they would not win, as no club had ever lifted back-to-back Champions League titles since Nottingham Forest. It's just something you didn't do. So I was smug, telling everybody that no chance they'd do that, and that if anyone actually thought they put together 2 back-to-back Champions League wins, then you haven't been paying attention to the sport. Yeah, they won the game 4-1. Even the next season, no chance that Zinedine Zidane, a managerial novice, you know, a glorified PE teacher, no way would he lift 3 Champions Leagues in a row. Of course not, Christ above. Especially not after they let Tottenham play them off the park in the group stages. I mean, this was an actual headline.
Dele Alli disappointed not to get a hat-trick in an impressive win of Real Madrid.
Trying to read that sentence now in the year 2022 when Ali is a 25-year-old dog food sandwich who Richard Dunn wants Everton to get rid of. Trying to read this now that he's disappointed not to score a hat-trick against Real Madrid. It's like trying to understand ancient hieroglyphics. Honestly, Deli, frame this headline on your fridge because your grandkids are never gonna believe it. Especially not when your next club is gonna be Preston North End. But still, Real Madrid composed themselves and against all odds won 3 Champions Leagues in a row. Even this season, their competition began by losing at home to a team from Moldova. But I've learned to stop backing against Real Madrid in this competition. They always get the job done, but I'm pretty sure Carlo Ancelotti is sick to his lungs at Liverpool Football Club. This is a club who've been following him for years. His entire adult life. I mean, this guy was a midfielder for Roma when he watched his team lose the 1984 European Cup final against Liverpool. I mean, then he managed AC Milan in a Champions League final against his club twice, and now once again in 2022. That is 4 European Cup finals against the same damn team. And chuck in the fact that for 2 years he was the boss of Everton, and honestly he'd probably love nothing more than to burn Anfield to the ground. And don't forget, he failed the job interview at Liverpool in 2015. I still can't understand the turnaround in his career though. Make no mistake about it, if Florentino Perez did not pick up the phone last June, then the great Carlo Ancelotti would have had the same fate as Rafa Benitez. Honestly, he would be blamed for Everton's sour team and would also be sacked after losing to Norwich in January. Honestly, in his last month on the job, last May, this guy was apparently asking the Everton owners to buy him Gareth Bale. I'm sorry, but right now this club can barely afford enough Rice Krispies in the canteen. So trying to fund the wages of Bale, I think that shows how out of touch Ancelotti was. But honestly, Carlo would have been fired at Everton, just seen as another prehistoric dinosaur of a coach coasting on his legacy. And right now, this guy would have spent the second half of the season getting job offers from Burnley, Leeds and Watford. How undignified. It's like a sporting icon like Mike Tyson being offered a deal to fight Jake Paul. I mean, it would be less offensive if you told him to eat pizza off a toilet seat. Carlo Ancelotti is 1 game away from winning his 4th Champions League as a manager. At 62. It's refreshing to see an old legend of the game like that still having success. By alright, this should be a washed up donut of a manager who should be getting asked to manage the Chinese national team. I mean, even back in 2008, there's a man who looked like he was verging on being finished. While still at AC Milan, good Christ, he was finishing 5th in Serie A with the reigning champions of Europe. He was watching his team losing the Champions League to Celtic, and the following year were 2-0 down at Portsmouth in the UEFA Cup, needing a last-minute comeback to salvage a draw in a managerial battle of wits with Tony Adams, someone who had the tactics of a melted ice cream cone. Ancelotti, the likes of Kaká, Clarence Seedorf, Andrei Shevchenko, Alexander Pato, Filippo Inzaghi and Ronaldinho on the pitch, and were struggling to break down a team of Glenn Little on the wing. If I was Carlo, standing in the rain in Portsmouth, watching his once great team get dominated by Peter Crouch and Richard Hughes, I'd have been worrying for my job. If you told someone then that this man would be in a Champions League final with Real Madrid 14 years later, you'd assume they just snorted Vaseline through a straw. But people are saying that Liverpool will blow Real Madrid out of the water, that they were just lucky against Chelsea and Man City. I mean, when does any team blow the other one out of the water in a European Cup final? I mean, listen, you want to talk about being lucky? Tottenham were the epitome of luck in 2019, and still, despite Liverpool finishing nearly 30 points ahead of them in the league, Liverpool still went 85 consecutive minutes without scoring against them. Christ above, they only had 3 shots on target the entire match, and Liverpool are surely getting leggy. Christ above, this is their 63rd game of the season. They've been playing every 4 days all month. I mean, even towards the end of the season. Since the Merseyside derby, these have been their results. 1-0, 1-1, 2-1, 2-1, and a late 3-1 win. This is a team who haven't blown anybody out of the water since beating Man United in mid-April. And even then, a week later, Brighton and Hove Albion did the exact same thing. So was it really even that special? Listen, this is not a great Real Madrid team. Christ, what, 2 months ago, they lost at El Clasico 4-0 at home to a Barcelona team supposed to be in crisis. But they also lost 4-0 to Barcelona in 2015 and still won the Champions League that season. Yes, it's true that of the 8 teams they faced in Europe this season, only Shakhtar Donetsk and Inter Milan have failed to beat them. But still, I'm going for a Real Madrid win. I know what it looks like to see Jordan Henderson cry after losing a Champions League final. My brain cannot fathom what it looks like to see Karim Benzema lose one. I can't wrap my head around Gareth Bale being on the losing side of a Champions League final. I've just never seen this. It's like trying to imagine what Boris Johnson looks like in the nude. My brain just won't do it. I'm going for a Real Madrid win. On paper, Liverpool are the better team and should win the game, but I'm sorry, Ancelotti is a European mastermind. Jurgen Klopp is a wonderful coach, yes, but he doesn't have the same experience in navigating his way through the sport's biggest game. His only ever win at a Champions League final was managing to beat Tottenham, and even then, that was Tottenham's 20th defeat of the season. Yes, 20. They've come into the final on the back of relegation form. 7 defeats in the last 12 league games. 11 points from a possible 36. The fact that even qualified from the Champions League group was a minor miracle to start with. And yet still, Liverpool could only labour to a win. I'm going for Real Madrid. I think they'll do it. Salah will play this game with too much emotion, trying to do everything by himself. I think you'll lose the midfield battle. Luka Modric is about to have the game of his life. And Ancelotti will make genius substitutions. I even think we're going to see Gareth Bale play at some point. I mean, his last ever game for the club, and he wins his 5th 5th Champions League. 5 Champions Leagues for former Southampton left back, who Tottenham nearly sold to Nottingham Forest. I'm sorry, what? But yeah, I can just see it. It'll be a close, fraught, tense first half. 0-0, Salah will hit the post. Thibaut Courtois will make a great save from Sadio Mane. And then in the second half, Karim Benzema will score a penalty. The only goal of the game. 1-0 Real Madrid win. Sorry Liverpool, but I can't back against Real Madrid. Not again. It's a Champions League final. You have to back Madrid. It's just what they do. Anyway, that's what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. What do you think? Who's going to win this match? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and as always, I'll talk to you in a while.